It started on a gray Saturday afternoon, the kind of day when the clouds hang low and the world feels quiet. 8-year-old Lily was exploring an old thrift store with her mother, weaving between aisles stacked with dusty trinkets and forgotten treasures. That's when she saw it. The doll was tucked away on a shelf in the corner, almost hidden behind a row of chipped vases. Its face was pale cloth, stitched into a faint smile. Its eyes were mismatched buttons, one black, one white. The dress was frayed and slightly torn, but something about it called to Lily. "Can I get it, Mom?" she asked, clutching the doll tightly. Her mother hesitated. "It looks old, sweetie. Are you sure you want that one?" But Lily wouldn't let go. "I'll fix it up," she promised. Reluctantly, her mother paid for the doll, and Lily brought it home. At first, everything seemed normal. Lily named the doll Clara and kept it with her wherever she went. She even made it a tiny bed out of an old shoebox and tucked it in every night. But soon, strange things began happening. One morning, Lily found Clara sitting on the kitchen counter. "Lily, did you leave your doll here?" her mother asked. Lily frowned. "Number I left her in my room." Her mother sighed. "Maybe you forgot." But Lily was certain she hadn't. The next day, Clara was on the living room couch, then on the stairs. Each time, Lily swore she hadn't moved her. Her parents dismissed it as Lily's imagination, but the unease began to grow. One night, as Lily lay in bed, she heard it, a faint, soft creak outside her door. Holding her breath, she tiptoed to the doorway and peeked out. Clara was sitting at the top of the stairs, her head tilted ever so slightly, as if she were watching. Lily's heart raced. "Mom! Dad!" she called, but no one answered. Shaking, she picked up Clara and brought her back to the shoebox bed. "Stay here," she whispered. But that night, sleep didn't come easily. The whispers started the following night. Lily woke to the sound of soft murmurs, faint and unintelligible. She sat up, her eyes scanning the dark room. Clara was still in her shoebox bed, but the whispers seemed to be coming from her direction. "Who's there?" Lily asked, her voice trembling. The whispers stopped instantly, leaving the room in an eerie silence. But when Lily turned to look at Clara, the doll's button eyes seemed different, sharper, more aware. The next day, Lily's best friend Mia came over to play. When Mia saw Clara, she froze. "Where did you get that?" Mia asked, her face pale. "At the thrift store," Lily said. "Why?" Mia's voice dropped to a whisper. "My grandma told me a story about a doll like that. She said it's cursed. It follows you everywhere, and it never stops." Lily laughed nervously. "That's silly. It's just a doll." But Mia wouldn't go near Clara. Terrified, Lily decided to get rid of Clara. That evening, she walked to the nearby river and threw the doll into the rushing water. She watched as Clara disappeared beneath the surface, feeling a strange mix of relief and guilt. But that night, when Lily climbed into bed, Clara was there. She was sitting upright on Lily's pillow, her dress damp and torn, her button eyes fixed on Lily. Lily screamed. After that, everything changed. Lily grew quieter, more withdrawn. Her parents noticed she spent hours staring at Clara, as if listening to something only she could hear. "She talks to me now," Lily whispered one day to her mother. "She says she's lonely." Her mother tried to take Clara away, but Lily screamed and clung to the doll with a strength that wasn't her own. From then on, Clara was always there, sitting at the dinner table, perched on the bathroom sink, watching. Desperate, Lily's mother tried to destroy Clara. She threw the doll into the fireplace, but the flames refused to touch it. She chopped it with a knife, but the blade broke. She locked it in the attic, but by morning it was back in Lily's room. The doll's smile seemed wider now, its button eyes gleaming with malice. One stormy evening, a knock came at the door. An elderly man stood on the porch, holding a lantern. "I hear you have the doll," he said. "It belonged to a seamstress many years ago. She poured all her anger and hatred into it before she died. It's alive now, and it feeds on fear." The man explained that the only way to stop Clara was to perform a ritual to banish her spirit. The ritual began at midnight. Lily, her parents, and the stranger formed a circle around the doll, chanting the words he had taught them. The room grew cold, and Clara's whispers turned into screams. The doll's button eyes seemed to glow, and for a moment, it looked as if it might leap at them. But with one final chant, Clara collapsed into a heap of cloth and buttons. They burned the remains and buried the ashes far from home. For the first time in weeks, Lily felt safe. But the next morning as she got dressed, she found something in her pocket. A single black button, and it was warm.